All right. Good morning, everybody. Dishes. So, I did tape a Dishes Delight the other day. Microphone not on, of course. So I just deleted it instead of just posting it. Whatever. It'll get annoying. People see too much of that shit, I'm sure. I know I'd be annoying as piss. So, here we go again. Welcome to 2026. Holy fuck. As words just came out of my mouth. 2026. You know, I remember last century, I was just thinking, holy fuck, it's going to be the year 2000 pretty damn soon. And all those cartoons were saying, by the year 2000, we're going to have flying cars and frying pans that smack your bacon straight for you with a hammer. And, and it was really weird. Like in 1999, they were selling cars with a Model 2000. Like, that's weird. That's so weird. And look at us now, 2026. Country is 250 years old. Well, Declaration of Independence is 250 years old. So last year, quick recap, kind of sucked, but was kind of good to be as well. I don't know. It was a catch-22. 2025 was a catch-22 all day long. So, let's see. On D-Day, I had to put my raccoon down. In May, I saw my grandma for the last time. That was really hard, but really a blessing. I had saved up like almost $2,000 for a car. I was saving up for a car. I want a car. And unfortunately, I need something big enough for John to fit into. And he's 6'6". And he's a large guy. He can't fit in small cars. So whatever I'm going to buy is going to be effing expensive. And I've been working on my credit for the last, 7 years. I've been working hard at it. And I saved the money. And then Dad sent me, so that's a weird story. Let me tell you, Jim Brewer. Funny how God works. So, May. Couldn't tell you what week it was. I know it was a Monday. I get a really strange feeling, really strong feeling that I need to write my grandma. I want to write my grandma. So on Tuesday, I went to work with my pen and paper and I started to write her a letter. On Wednesday, the next day, I finished the letter, and an hour, not even kidding, an hour after I finished my letter, my dad texts, said, Grandma's in the nursing home. And if you knew my grandma, she's a homebody, don't want to be away from home, doesn't like to vacation away from home, she wants to be at home. We all knew it would almost kill her to be in a nursing home away from home, like she doesn't want to be dependent on anybody, and she's always been there for people, so it was really hard for her. So really, the hour after I got done finishing that letter to Grandma, which I strongly had a feeling for on previously, Dad texted and said she's in the nursing home. I said, I'm on my way. So I took the money that I was saving for a car, and blessed be, I was able to go see my grandma. I was able to rent a car and go see her one last time. And it just so happens that she was in a nursing home that my cousin worked at. And it just so happens that my good childhood friend lived a block down the road from the nursing home. So I was able to stay the night at his place. And I was able to see my grandma the morning that I left. which was one of the hardest things I had to do, was say goodbye to somebody who's still alive. But it was bittersweet because she was ready to go. She had spent the last 15 years without Grandpa after he died. She got to see great grandchildren, me born, and she had a picture of Grandpa on her phone. And every time she looked at that picture, just the biggest smile, and she would say, "I can't wait to see my husband." And she was actually happy to go. She wasn't afraid at all. And that woman's faith was so strong. And I'm sure even in those last scary moments, she had comfort. So a couple months later, she died. So by then, I'd saved up another about $1,200 for a car again. Grandma died. This is how I found out Grandma died. I get a text from my mom saying, "Did you hear that your grandma died this morning? It's all over Facebook." Now, I took myself off of Facebook a few years ago. So I didn't know. I was just there. I got my cousins and my aunt. They all had my number. Dad lives in the same house and visited his mother every day in the nursing home, and he was probably the second one to be called after she died. He didn't call me. Nobody called me. Nobody. So I said, no, nobody called. So that was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and she had died in the early morning, and they'd start posting at like 8 o'clock in the morning on Facebook. So, okay. So I texted my cousin, and I said, "How you doing?" Because she's the one that works there at the nursing home where she died. So I'm pretty sure she was there. And she goes, "I'm fine. I was just about to call you. I put the daughter down for a nap and was going to call you." Okay. So at that point, I had already been online and renting, looking at car rental prices. And I texted her back in like half an hour, and I said, "Okay, I'm leaving Wednesday morning." So I live in Florida, and it's about a 22-hour drive, plus 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever, for nap time. I had stopped in Georgia. Okay, so I left Wednesday morning at like 7 a.m. I had stopped in Georgia at my friend's house. She lives about 12 hours away. And I stayed the night there. And I left again early in the morning. Now, granted, Grandma's already dead, so what's the hurry now? Right? And nobody has texted me yet. Okay? Nobody's called me yet. Not dad, not aunt, not cousins. Nobody. All right. So I'm not worried about timing. I stop in Nashville to do a little bit of shopping, which was some bullshit, that early in the morning. And I stopped and had lunch, and I was just having a nice drive up there, knowing that I was so happy that I had just got to see her in May. And then I drove along my way after shopping and lunch. dilly-dallying around a little bit, sure. I think I stopped in Kentucky and stopped at a thrift store there too for about an hour. Whatever, not too long. So, okay, get back on the road. I'm driving. I get to Casey, Illinois, or I get to just outside Casey, Illinois. It's 3 hours south of Peoria. Okay, I'm almost there. It's 5:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. I get a text from my brother. Did you know Grandma's funeral was today at 1 o'clock? I saw that on Facebook. No, nobody told me anything. So I pulled over in Casey and I got a hotel room. And I was looking at the wad of cash that I had since my aunt wanted to bitch about, oh, I can't afford to take her piano home. Talk about Grandma's piano. She wants to take it home to Louisiana. They just, okay. Anyway, I can't afford to take the piano home. Okay, well, I looked it up and it took like 2 seconds to Google it. You can either get a mover and it starts at like $500 for them to move it, or you can rent a freaking van and do it yourself for like $1,200. And it's only an 11-hour drive. So I squeezed my tits together after trying to save money for a car, after coming to see my grandma and spending the first car money. Plus, I had $1,200 saved for a car again, and I saved $500 specifically so she can get that damn piano to her house. So I was looking at that wad of money in the hotel room when I stopped because too late now. No funeral. Nobody even called me. I just stewed and I stewed and I said, fuck it. I'm going on a fucking shopping spree. So the next day, I shopped all the way back to fucking Florida. I shopped and I spent that $500 fucking dollars for moving that damn piano because my aunt was crying about how she can't afford to move it. And then cried, shopped and cried all the way the fuck home. And I sent my dad a screenshot of my map when I was in Casey, Illinois. So this is the closest you'll ever be to me ever again. And now, I don't care who the fuck is there anymore. There is no reason for me to ever go back to Illinois again. Y'all know where I live. So the aunt that was bitching about not being able to afford to move a piano just built a house. They just built a new house. Now, she works for an insurance company, and she has worked for that insurance company for, I'm going to say, at least 40 years. Since I can remember. I'm going to say like 35 years. You ain't crying about money. And your husband is a retired Air Force. You ain't crying about money. I just want you to know that. If she's watching, I want you to know that. I had that fucking cash saved just for you because you were crying about money. And I wanted that piano anywhere but Dad's fucking possession. So that's the way that is. I mean, I'm paying a lot. Fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. I'm paying $2,250 for a 1 bedroom, and she's crying about I can't afford to move a piano. I can't afford a car either. By the way, I'm accepting Cadillac donations. It's the only thing John will fit into. Let's rent some shit. Anyway, as the year goes, a little bit more blessed. I get to work till about the week before Thanksgiving and then get laid off, like usual. From a job doesn't give me health benefits or paid vacation or anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're kind of good to us sometimes. So I got to work till about the week before Thanksgiving. Blessed be. Except for now, I'm trying to get my unemployment. I think somebody tried to hack my account again, and unemployment wants to do these freaking lumps and hoops and loops and jumps, and um, like ID me wasn't good enough, so they needed a copy of my social security card and a copy of my license. Well, my social security card is a little tore up and they didn't like that, so they said no, get a new one. And if you don't do it fast enough, then you're going to have to reapply. So now I have to wait for my social security in the effing mail. Now, mind you, I applied for unemployment like 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. So I'm still waiting. I'm still ain't getting paid. And I might have to wait about a week and a half, possibly 2 weeks for my social security card to get here. And then I have to restart the application process all over again, which takes 3 weeks to get paid. So I ain't going to be getting paid unemployment until probably March. But Christmas was good. I mean, we were broke as shit and really couldn't afford anybody anything this year at all. I bought John some candy he didn't like and lighters. That's it. Me and John do our Christmas together in the summer when we can afford it. So yeah, Christmas was good. On New Year's Eve, John comes home with our Christmas bonus, which is taxed the shit out of. But regardless, I was about to have a heart attack because I didn't have my unemployment yet and I couldn't pay my credit card bills that I just put John's tires on. So, amen. I got my Christmas bonus before the end of the year, before my credit card was due, which is unheard of in our company because we usually don't get our Christmas bonus until February. That was nice. And a friend of mine got a hold of me. It was bittersweet. She texted me out of the blue on New Year's Eve and told me about her dad that died a couple of years ago. And was she was on Facebook, and when I left Facebook, just you know, it's a good thing she had my number. I'm so glad she had my number. So she texted me, and I was so happy to hear from her. I miss her so much. One of the very few absolutely genuine people in my life. I love her so much. I'm so happy to hear from her. So that's how the year ended. And I got a kiss at midnight, which back in the day would have been really depressing if I didn't have. It's a good year. Ish. So I planned on having my show taped and done by now, but I've hit a little mental snafu, and the self doubt throws a wrench into that fucking clock a lot. But I've still got my little studio sitting there. I taped a test pilot, a test pilot yesterday, and I definitely have some kinks to work out. I might do that again today, and then see what else I need to unkink. But I'm getting some good encouragement from some strange sources, so that's good. Uh, I might be doing some flea markets soon. Might get my toe in that water. I don't know because I don't have my own vehicle, so that's kind of hard. But it is what it is. Dishes delight, a little bit of tea. You just wait. I don't know. I might have to change my format on my show. We'll see what happens. Okay. I need a shower and you're not coming with me.